So good morning, everyone. So today we'll be discussing about the load scheduling and the circuit preparation of light circuit, power circuit, then the load balancing, and finally, based on the load balancing, how we can select the distribution board. So basically, this load schedule is the main idea that we get, like how we can select the distribution board, what specifications or and which circuit breaker is required for the particular area, and what shall be the cable size, incomer size. So all these details we will get from after doing the load scheduling, circuit preparation, and finally the load balanced condition. Okay, so I will again refresh the topic that we have already discussed. So whenever we receive an civil drawing from the architect or the client, we will be initially selecting the equipments like light fittings, utility, utility sockets, uh, exhaust fan, ceiling fan, okay, etc. All the electrical. After selecting or after finalizing all the equipments, we need to list it down. Okay, so this is a format to listing it down. Okay, if we'll be taking an Excel file and we'll be giving SL number 1, 2, 3, etc. And if the first column will be mentioning the equipment details. So example, in this example, you can see light, fan, 6 ampere socket, exhaust fan, doorbell, 15 ampere socket, geyser, air conditioners. Okay, and in the next column, in the next further columns, we will be mentioning the room names. So we can take the room names as like when you get a residential building, if the toilet is attached to the bedroom, you can take, if you want bedroom and toilet together, or else you can take bedroom in a separate column and toilet in separate column. Okay, that is not an issue. Okay, so here they have taken it to like bedroom plus toilet one, and also they have mentioned the light fitting number separately, 2 plus 1. 2 means the light fittings in the bedroom, and 1 means the light fitting in the toilet. Okay, so after listing all the rooms, here we have to mention the unit watts. So what is the unit wattage of light that we have taken? Okay, that we will be getting from the lighting calculation part. Okay, since we are doing the lighting calculation, we will know the light specification, mainly the unit watts. Okay, in case we are having multiple light fixtures, we have to list that also. Like for example, we have a 10-watt LED light, 20-watt LED tube light, 6-watt mirror lamp, 3-watt foot lamp. So you have to list all the different type of light. Okay, you can't generally write light alone. You have to list the different types of light, like mirror light, foot lamp, wall light, down light, in a different categories. Okay, so instead of light, you will have multiple number of light fixtures. Okay, here in this example, we have only mentioned a standard light, like it is having 60 watts. That is why unit watt is mentioned as 60 watts. And next column, we will be having total units. So adding all these light fixtures, you will get the total units. And the final column, that is the connected load. How you will get the connected load? By multiplying the total units with the unit watts. Okay, if you're having 10 number of light fixtures, each one is having 10 watts. So what will be the connected load? 10 into 10 equal to 100 watts. So like that way, you have to enter all the equipments, unit watts, total units, and the connected load. Thus, you will get the total connected load for the building. Okay, or the particular DB you are going to design. For example, you are having multiple floors. Okay, so for each, you might be preparing load schedule for each floor, that is ground floor load schedule. So you will be getting the ground floor total load from that particular load schedule. If you are taking if you are preparing the load schedule for the whole area, like ground floor and first floor together, you will be getting the total load for the ground floor and first floor together. So it is up to you, because this primary schedule is not so important. What important is like the final load balanced condition according to the standards. Okay, that is very important. So the primary schedule is actually a reference for us for to prepare the light circuits and power circuits. What is important is like a final load balanced condition. So after preparing the load schedule, we will get all data like how many lights are there, how many fan fittings are there, and what is the total load for the light alone, what is the total load for fan alone, So from this data, you will get an idea. So whether to provide separate distribution board for light circuit or power circuit. Okay. For in case of a residential building, it is not mandatory to provide separate distribution board for light and power. Okay, it is not mandatory. Most of the client will be demanding, I need only one distribution board. Why unnecessarily taking two distribution board? He will be asking like that. But the intention is to separate the lighting circuits and power circuits in a separate DB. It will be having a lot of advantages in case of giving it to the solar units, or in case of a power failure because of the overload issues in the power circuit. Thus, it will not interrupt the lighting circuit. So there are a lot of advantages by separating lighting and power circuit. If you if you have visited any hospital and if you have seen the distribution boards in the particular hospitals, you might have seen LDB, that means light distribution board, PDB, that means power distribution boards. Okay, that is a usual practice in hospitals or commercial buildings to separate the distribution board in light and power, for light and power. But in this particular example, we are showing lighting and power circuits together in a single distribution board. Okay, so after listing down all this, you will be getting the total load and you will be assuming the demand factor. Here they have taken 0.63. How this 0.63, how we got the 0.63 by adding individual demand factor. That is, as I told, that is not necessary. It is actually a time consuming progress. So you can assume the value for residential, commercial, and what do we say, industrial building. So you should make sure that the demand factor should not go below 0.5. Okay, you can take the demand factor between 0.5 to 1. Okay, in case of diversity factor, make sure that diversity factor shall be between 1 and 2. You can't take diversity factor greater than 2. Okay, so whenever you get the demand factor, you should multiply the total connected load. If you're assuming the diversity factor, you should divide the total connected load. In all the case, the maximum demand will be lesser than the connected load. Okay, and coming to the circuit preparation. Okay, in this example, I'm telling, in this particular example, we are preparing the light circuit as per Indian standard. Okay, so whichever country you are working in or whichever standards you are following, you must follow that standard. Okay, this is only an example to understand how we are preparing the lighting circuit. So in this example, I am taking Indian standard. Okay, so in Indian standard, there shall be only 10 points and 800 watts. That is a common practice. Okay, 10 points and 800 watts. So in this particular example, we will be sticking very strictly to the standards. Okay, even if 1 point is coming extra, we need to follow the standard. But in real case, I'm telling, in the real case, if you are having 11 points in a particular circuit, you can just ignore that one. If 1 point is coming extra, that is not an issue. Okay, but here in this particular example, whenever we see extra 1 point, we need to follow the standard and we will be breaking it to 2 separate circuits. Okay, so here how we are taking the circuit, BR1 plus T1. Okay, so we can go back to the primary schedule, BR1 plus TN, bedroom 1 plus toilet 1. So you can see 3 numbers of light in the B1 plus T1, 3 numbers of light, 1 ceiling fan, 5 6 ampere socket, and 1 exhaust fan. So each equipment's unit wattage you have mentioned, already mentioned. Okay, light is having 60 watts, fan is having 80 watts, 6 ampere socket is having 100 watts, exhaust fan is having 100 watts. So from this table itself, we can just calculate the total load. How we will calculate? 60 into 3. Okay, 60 into 3. Since there is 3 light, you will be multiplying 60 into 3. So you will get 180 watts. Okay, the next one is ceiling fan. One number of ceiling fan is provided in the bedroom 1 plus toilet 1. So we'll be multiplying is 80 into 1. Okay, so 3 into 60 plus 80 into 1. Then 5 into 100. 100 is the unit wattage and 5 is the total number of sockets. So 100 into 5. Then comes the exhaust fan. Here also the unit wattage is 100. So we'll be multiplying 100 into 1. So the total load would be, total load for the lighting circuit for bedroom 1 plus toilet 1 would be 10 points. The point is 10. Okay, 3 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1. So total Point is okay, that is fine, 10 numbers, you are not crossing the limit. But when you take the total load for this particular circuit, you can see 180, 3 into 60 is equal to 180, 1 into 80 equal to 80, 5 into 100 equal to 500, 1 into 100 is equal to 100. So adding all this wattage together, the total load is 860. So they're saying the above circuit does not satisfy the standards. So what was the standard? 10 point and 800 watts. Here extra 60 watts have came. So this does not satisfy the standards. So here we have to go with the two circuits which are equally balanced. So now we have an option. You can divide the single circuit into two numbers. Why? Because we are having a 60 watts extra. So as I told, we are sticking to the standards. So we need to split this circuit into two. So how we can split? There is an option to split. Like we are already have two rooms combined together. Two rooms means one bedroom plus attached toilet. Okay, so you can see two light fixtures in bedroom, one fan in the bedroom, four number of socket in bedroom, and exhaust fan in the toilet, and one socket in the toilet, and one light in the. You can either take separate circuit for the bedroom and next circuit for the toilet. There is an option to do such way. And here they have taken like light two numbers. Okay, fan one numbers, 6 ampere socket they have taken three numbers, exhaust fan one number. So total number is 7 and total wattage is 600. Okay, and BR1 plus T1 circuit 2. Okay, light one numbers, the remaining light socket, the remaining socket they have taken here. So in that way also you can take, you just need to split it equally, or equally means you can't make it correct equal like 400 and 400 460. Just split as you wish. Like it should be probably comfortable or for the electrician also. For example, you are taking one point from the bedroom and another point from the toilet, and both are coming in single circuit. That means the wire has to go from the bedroom, that particular point, to toilet. You shall take the nearest point always. Whenever you prepare the circuit, try to take nearby electrical points for the circuit. For example, I can say you have 5 numbers of light points inside your bedroom and 5 numbers of light points in the kitchen. So adding this 5 numbers of light point and 5 numbers of light point in kitchen, you will get 10 numbers. But the kitchen is actually far from the bedroom. But you are just following the theory, you're not thinking about the practical condition, and you are preparing it in the single circuit. That means in the real case, the electrician has to route the wire from the bedroom to the kitchen, and which will be a difficult task for him, because you are not thinking about the practical condition. So whenever you prepare the circuit, make sure you are taking the nearby circuits. Okay, so this is an example only, okay, just to understand. So here they have gone with the two circuits. Okay, from this knowledge, I'm telling, from this particular idea, can you tell how many number of circuit will be required in the bedroom 3? Because bedroom 1 and bedroom 2 is exactly same. So no need. I am not asking about bedroom 2, because for the same thing will be coming in the bedroom 2. You can see 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 1, 1, 4 plus 1. But in the case of bedroom 3, the numbers are different. So can anybody say the number of circuit that we will require in the bedroom 3? Just take the light circuit only. Okay, 1. Yes, correct. Okay, 1 is correct. Okay, I think everybody is clear with that, how it is 1. How bedroom 3 will have only 1 light, 1 fan, and 3 socket. That means only 5 number of point is coming. And what will be the total load? 1 into 60 plus 80 plus 300, right? 60 plus 80 plus 300. Okay, so 440 will be the total watts. So it is following the condition, that is less than 800 watts and less than or equal to 10 points. Now, what is guest room? I'm not asking again, because guest room and bedroom 3 is exactly same. So what about kitchen plus toilet 3? So here you can take some time, like 2 or 3 minutes. So just write down in a paper, or you just calculate how many number of circuits will be required in the kitchen plus toilet 3, and also mention the circuit load, each circuit load also. We have 2 plus 1 light fixtures in kitchen and 2 plus 1 points in the sockets in the kitchen plus toilet 3, exhaust fan 1 plus 1. So how many number of circuit will be required in the kitchen? Can we combine the remaining 260 watt for each bedroom? Yeah, of course, you can combine the remaining 260 watts each. Yeah, because here we have an case like bedroom 1 plus toilet 1 circuit have taken together. Okay, so that is why they have split it into two. Initially, they had an idea of taking bedroom 1 plus toilet 1, but in real case, you can take bedroom 1 circuit alone and toilet 1, toilet 2. You can take toilet 1 and toilet 2 as a combined circuit. Okay, and the bedroom 2 as a separate circuit. So finally, we will be having three number of circuit for bedroom 1 and bedroom 2. But in this example, you have two circuit for bedroom 1 and two circuit for bedroom 2, totally four circuits. But in practical case, you can take in that way also. Okay, because comparing two toilets, it will not make any issues. But comparing two bedrooms might be an issue. Because one issue is like it will exceed the number of points, and another is if one something overcurrent is happening in bedroom 1, it will also affect the bedroom 2. Okay, but if it is very less points, you can combine both the bedroom and bedroom 2, bedroom 1 and bedroom 2. Okay, 680 watt as the total load on kitchen circuit, one is a circuit. Yes, it is correct. So in the case of kitchen, we need only one circuit and total 680 watt is coming. Okay, what about hall plus corridor? Hall plus corridor. The number of points is greater than 10. So it is sure that we will be having two circuits. So I just want to know what will be the load for circuit 1 and what will be the load for circuit 2. You can split the circuits as you wish, not an issue. There is no standards to take circuit 1 and circuit take in a particular way. Only thing is you have to follow standard with the circuit. Number of points is coming like greater than 10. You need to take separate second circuit. Total load total load 4 point means you have written it as 4.485 for you have mentioned regarding the hall plus corridor. I just want you to calculate the lighting circuit only. Okay, no need to calculate the power circuit, just the lighting circuit alone, like 4 plus 1 light point in the hall plus corridor, and two number of fans, 6 ampere socket, 5 numbers, doorbell, 1 numbers. No need to calculate air conditioners and the 16 ampere socket. Just calculate the lighting load only, because anyway we need to separate the lighting circuit and power circuit. So here we are calculating the number of lighting circuit. The load you have mentioned is wrong. I think 985. 985 means total load, right? So that means it is crossing the limit. The limit is 800. So how you will split it? Just split and tell me the circuit 1 and circuit load. circuit 1 and circuit 2. Like for 500 watts plus 485. If it is possible, you can split by taking the number. Like we have 5 lights in the hall plus corridor. In circuit 1, you can take 4 lights, and you have 2 fans. You can take in the circuit 1, you can take one fan from the total number. And 6 ampere socket, you have 5 numbers. You can take 2 or 3. It's actually your wish, not an issue. Okay. Only when you you will get an idea only if you have the actual drawing with you. Okay. Right now we don't know where this 5 number of socket is arranged, where the 2 number of fans is located. So you can just take as you wish, no issue. Okay, I'm not waiting for the answer. I will go to the calculation or the value they have taken here. So kitchen plus toilet 3, as mentioned, 8 points and 680 watts. And next is hall plus corridor. Yo, you can see 13 points and 985 watts. 13 points and 985. So it does not satisfy the standard. So we have to split the above circuit. So they have taken 3 light fittings, 1 fan, 6 ampere socket, 3 numbers, and 1 doorbell in the circuit 1. The circuit 2, the remaining 2 lights, the remaining fan, and the remaining 2 sockets. So here the load is 585 and the remaining 400 watts is arranged in the circuit 2. So this is how we prepare the lighting circuit as per the standards. Okay, this is as per the Indian standard, and we are sticking very strictly to the 10 points and 800 watts. Okay, if 1 or 2 point is just increasing, it is not an issue, because as I mentioned, the total ampere is the main part, because if ampere is crossing particular limit, it will not act as a light circuit. So if you provide a 6 ampere breaker or 1.5 amps per wire, in future it may cause a overcurrent issue and the wire may got burned. Okay, so this, as per this standard, we got 2 circuit in the hall. So I think we have completed the lighting circuit for each room, right? Bedroom plus 1 plus toilet 1, which is equal to bedroom 2 plus toilet 2, bedroom 3, bedroom guest room, kitchen plus toilet, hall plus corridor. So can you tell what is the total number of lighting circuit for all these rooms? Total number of lighting circuit. We have 2 numbers in bedroom 1, 2 numbers in bedroom 2, 1 number in bedroom 3, 1 number in. Can you tell me the total number of lighting circuits from this particular load schedule? Total number of lighting circuit. Two numbers in bedroom 1. So 2 numbers in bedroom 2. So total 4. Then bedroom 3, 1. So plus 1, 5. In guest room 1. So plus 1, 6. Like that way you can calculate. Total number of lighting circuits. Okay, okay, somebody has sent the answer. 10, 9. 9 is the answer. I will explain. We have 2 circuits in bedroom 1. Okay, 2 circuits in bedroom 1 and 2 circuits in bedroom 2. So now it is 4. Okay, 2 circuits in bedroom 1, 2 circuits in bedroom 2, and 1 circuit and 1 circuit for the bedroom 3 and guest room is. So now it is 6, and kitchen also have 1 circuit. So 7, and the hall plus corridor have 2 circuits. So total number of lighting circuit is 9. Okay, so the lighting circuit preparation is over. Okay, so the lighting circuit preparation. So now we have to prepare the power circuit. So how you will prepare the power circuit? We need to check the number of points in each room. Okay, so when you prepare the power circuit, normally as per any standards, as per Indian standard, the actual number is 2 numbers and 3000 watts for each circuit. 2 numbers and it should not cross 3000 watts. So that is a normal case. Okay, so that is a standard. But in British standard or some other GCC standards, they always advise to take only 1 point in the power circuit. 1 point means one particular socket, like 16 ampere socket shall be taken only 1 number. Geyser shall be taken only 1 number. AC shall be taken only for 1 number. I'm telling about the normal split AC. Okay. So in this particular example, I'm telling only in this particular example, they are following 3 socket. You can take 3 socket. Okay. When doing the project or when attending an interview, don't follow this. I'm telling only in this particular example only. Here we have three number of point and maximum wattage is 3000. Okay. So, and also you have to take care that like whenever you take geyser and AC, there should not be any points together. So that means you should take separate circuit for geyser and AC. Okay. So in that case, how many number of circuit will it come in the bedroom one plus toilet one? We have one AC, one geyser, and 115 ampere socket. So how many circuit will we have in the bedroom one plus toilet one power circuit? For a geyser and AC, anyway, you have to take separate circuit. Okay. So how many numbers will we have in the bedroom one plus toilet one? 3. Yes, correct. 3 numbers. Similarly, bedroom 2 and toilet 2 also will have the same numbers. So here also 3. What about bedroom 3? What about bedroom 3? Two. Yeah, correct. Guest room also 2. What about kitchen? So in kitchen, they have mentioned 315 ampere socket. So as per this standard, as per the standard which we are following right now, so you must follow your particular native or your particular state standard. So as I told here in Kerala, especially they're following Indian standard, and we can take two number of sockets, two number of general sockets. So if I know this particular socket I am using for a microwave, so I should know the standard load for coming for a microwave. So if the load is exceeding a particular limit like 1500 watts, I must take only 1 point on. Okay, even if the standard is 2 points, but thinking about the wattage of this particular equipment, I will be taking only 1 point in that circuit, because I know if both these equipments are turned on same at a time, it may cause the overcurrent issues. So the circuit breaker will be tripped. Okay, so thinking about that condition, I will be taking only 1 point. But as I'm saying in this example, you can take 3 points. 3 point means 316 ampere socket or 315 ampere socket. Okay, so considering that, how many circuit will we need in the kitchen plus toilet 3? Here we have 3 sockets, 16 ampere, 315 ampere socket and 1 geyser. So how many power circuit will we need in the kitchen plus toilet 3? Three. Okay, one set 3. Actually, this actually depends upon the designer. Okay, if I am doing the particular project, I will be checking what this 15 ampere socket is being used for. I will be checking the equipments. If I don't know the equipments, as per the Indian standard, I will be removing 2 numbers separately for a circuit, 2 numbers, because I can take maximum 2 numbers only, and the remaining one 15 ampere socket I will again give it as a separate circuit, and the geyser separate circuit. So it will be, as you said, it will be 3 numbers. But considering the standard that it is being used 3 numbers, you can take 316 ampere socket in a circuit. So in that particular case, we will need only 2 circuits. I will show how they have taken the 2 numbers. Yeah, here you can see kitchen plus toilet 3. They have taken the 315 ampere socket together, and the total load is 3000. 15 ampere socket, 3 numbers, and next one is geyser. So one geyser 1500 watts, and that is power circuit 2. So they have taken only 2 circuits for the kitchen plus toilet 3 power circuit. But in the actual case, as you said, it might be 3 or 4. Okay, but sticking to the standard they have mentioned, we can take 3 sockets in a particular circuit, and next one is geyser. So we need only 2 circuit in kitchen plus toilet 3. And what about the final hall plus corridor? Hall plus corridor, how many circuit will we need? We have one 15 ampere socket and one air conditioner. What will be the number of circuits? Oh, yeah, 2, correct. So as you calculated the total number of light circuit, I want you to calculate the power circuit also. So I can help. The bedroom 1 and bedroom 2 is having 3 numbers each. Bedroom 3 is having 2 numbers. Guest room is having 2 numbers. Like that, can you calculate the total power circuits? So the total number of lighting circuit is 9. Yeah. 18. Can you calculate once more? 18 is not the correct answer. 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 2, 12, 12 plus 2, 14. Yeah, correct. 14 is the total number of power circuit. So we have, from this particular load schedule, we have 40 number of power circuit and 9 number of light circuit. So the total number of circuit is 23. So we have 23 circuits coming inside a particular residential building, 23 circuits. So based on this, we have to check what supply is required. Like actually, whenever you can note it down, like whenever we have a total load greater than 5,000 watts, we shall go for the 3-phase connection. Okay, so that is the standard being followed here. In some countries, it is 7,500 watts. Okay, here whenever the load is greater than 5,000 watts, so here the total load is 29,000. Obviously, you would need 3-phase connection. So if the supply was, sorry, if the total load was less than 5,000, you can go with a single phase connection. Okay, so here it is 29,000. So you should go with the 3-phase connection. Now we have to balance the 3-phase load. So balancing the 3-phase load is the next step. So first step was to prepare the primary schedule. From the primary schedule, you will get to know which all rooms are coming and the equipment and the load in each room. So after that, we will be preparing lighting circuit. Then comes the power circuit. Then next step is to arrange these loads. Okay. So you can simply arrange the load in R phase, Y phase, B phase. Okay. You can simply arrange like R phase will be having bedroom 1 or bedroom 2. Y phase will be having bedroom 3, guest room. Like that way you can arrange. Okay. So here I'm just showing an example. This we can just check only, like it will be like a trial and error. We'll be arranging some loads. We'll be checking the total load for each phase, and then we'll be checking for the average load and whether it is coming in the upper limit and lower limit. That is the procedure. Okay, so I will show the condition how to check whether it is balanced or not. So now we have arranged all the loads in R phase, Y phase, B phase. So we have written R, we have written Y, and we have written B. So you can see 600, 260. That is bedroom 1 plus toilet 1 load, bedroom 1 plus toilet 2 circuit 2 load. So bedroom 1 plus toilet 1, power circuit 1, power circuit 2, power circuit 3. So the all bedroom circuit 1 has been arranged in R phase. Then similarly, bedroom 2 all circuit has been arranged in the R phase itself. And in bedroom in Y phase, we have arranged bedroom 3 light and power circuit, guest room light and power circuits together. Then B phase, the whole lighting circuit and power circuit has been arranged, and kitchen lighting circuit and power circuit has been arranged. Okay, you are just doing it to understand whether it is balanced or not. So we are going to check whether it is balanced or not. Okay, to check whether it is balanced or not, we need to calculate the average value. Okay, we need to calculate the average value. How you can calculate the average value? You just need to add the R phase, Y phase plus B phase load. Okay, just add R plus Y plus B. Okay, so I will do first step is take R plus Y plus B. So can anybody tell what will be the total load? R plus 11,720. How you got the 11,720 value? You'll be adding all the R phase load together. So you will get the R phase load. Then how you will get the Y phase total load? You will be adding all the circuits arranging the Y phase. You will get the Y phase load. B phase also similarly, you will get the B phase total load. So what will be the total value? Means R plus Y plus B. Yeah, 29,265. So now you need to calculate the average value. Okay, take the average value. You need to divide the R plus Y plus, sorry, R plus Y plus B divided by 3. Yeah, somebody has sent the answer 9755. So you got the value as 9755. So here the average value is 9755. So the next step is take 10% of the average value. Take 10% of the average value. So what is a 10% value for 9755? 10% of 9755. You can just multiply it with 0.1. 9755 into 0.1. Yes, 975.5. So the average value is 975.5. Okay. The fourth step is set two limits. We have to set two limits. Upper limit and lower limit. Okay, upper limit and lower limit. Okay, so upper limit equal to step 2 plus step 3. Lower limit equal to step 2 minus, sorry, step 2 minus step 3. So can anybody tell the upper limit value as well as the lower limit value? Upper limit is 10,073. Okay, okay. 10,073.0.5. Lower limit is 8,779.5. Okay. So we got the two limits, upper limit and lower limit. Now we need to check whether each phase load is coming in between this particular limits. Okay. So the R phase value, Y phase value, B phase value shall come between the 8,779 and 10,730 value. So coming back to the balanced condition, you can see R phase is having 11,720 and Y phase is having 7,880. B phase is having 9,665. Here, R phase is actually out of the range 8,779. It is not coming between the 10,000 and 8,779. Y phase also same, very lesser value from the 8,779 value. But B phase is actually balanced. It is coming between the range. So how we can balance this? How we can balance? How we can balance the R phase and Y phase? Yeah, it is very easy actually. You can just take the BR2 plus T2 PCKT3. That is a 10th circuit in R phase to the Y phase. Then automatically 2,500 watts will be lesser in the R phase and automatically it will come around 9,000. So R phase will be balanced. When 2,500 wattage come in the Y phase, obviously you will be adding this value. So again, the range will be coming in the Y phase load also will come around 9,000. Okay, so that is the easiest way. But here, is there any possibility? But if I'm taking this particular BR2 plus T2 PCKT3 alone to the Y phase, in that particular case, you will have both R phase and both Y phase in bedroom 2. That is not an issue. It is actually, we all do like that. Like we can have multiple phases inside a room, not an issue. Okay, multiple phases and multiple circuits inside a room. But if possible, you can, if it is possible to manage all the particular circuits coming inside a room in a single phase, that will be good. Okay, what I'm saying is you can balance by taking any circuit like 2500 circuit to the Y phase, it will automatically get balanced. But is there any possible way to balance that such a way that all circuits particular means all bedrooms particular circuits is coming in a single phase alone? Here, if I'm taking BR2 plus PCK2, PCKT3 to the Y phase, that means your bedroom 2 is getting R phase and Y phase. So I think it will be a little bit difficult for you to think in that way. So I can show the balanced condition. Somebody has sent that, including the power and light. Yeah, BR3 to R phase and BR2 to Y phase. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So that is a balanced condition. BR1 plus T1 circuit 1, BR1 plus T1 circuit 2. So all the BR1 circuit has been arranged in the R phase itself. No change in BR1. But from the previous case, we have taken the BR2 circuit into the Y phase. Okay, that means all the lighting and power circuit together we have taken into the Y phase. And previously the guest room circuit was in Y phase. Now we have shifted into the R phase. So now when you check the load right now, you can see it is coming as 9,800 in the R phase, 9,800 in the Y phase, and B phase we haven't touched. So it is 9,665 itself. So this condition is known as the balanced condition. Okay, so this is the procedure to balance the distribution board. So what is the importance of balancing the load? Then only you will get proper current through each phase. If it is unbalanced condition, the neutral current will be more and it will be affecting the transformer, all the circuits, nearby circuits, etc. Neutral current will be more. So it is mandatory to keep the circuits balanced in each and every distribution board. Okay. So based on this particular final balanced condition, we will be selecting the appropriate distribution board as per your standards. So here we have 1 minute, one question, including the please show the step again on MSOD. Yeah, of course. First step is to calculate the total load, that is R plus Y plus B. Then the average value, R plus Y plus B whole divided by 3, you will get the average value. Then the third step is to take the 10% of the average value. That means 9755 into 0.1. You will get 975.5. Then next step is to set two limits, upper limit and lower limit. What is upper limit? You will be adding the average value plus the 10% value. Okay, that is upper limit. Then what is the lower limit? You will be subtracting the average value, like you will be subtracting the 10% value from the average value. So you will get the upper limit and lower limit. So each phase, that is R phase, Y phase, B phase, shall have the load between these two limits. You should do the possible way to make the phase balanced. So in this example, you could balance by shifting the complete circuits from BR2 to Y phase and guest room to R phase. But in some case, it would be possible. So don't stick on to that. You can just move the circuits also. But make sure that two circuit is not coming together or in a single switchboard. Because in future, if someone is coming for the maintenance part, he'll be, there is a possibility to rewire the circuit separately. Okay, if it is two equal load, not an issue, but I'm telling just to make sure that you can separate it in two switchboards. Okay, so like as I said, it is not mandatory to keep all the circuit coming in a single room in a same phase itself. That is not mandatory. Okay, fine. So this is the balanced condition. 10% capacity space. Yeah, 10% capacity space. Most of the countries follow the same. 10% is the universal value we can take. 10%. Maybe in some country it can be taken as 50, but 10% is the limit. Okay, obviously 10% will be the limit for all countries. But based on IS, we are taking the 10% value. Even if you take the EVA standard or even if you take the British standard, it will be the same value, 10% value. Because if you take 5%, that will be difficult for to balance it. Because for example, we are having multiple power circuits and each circuit values greater than 2000 or 1000. So whenever you move the circuit to another phase, it won't be possible. Even with the 10%, it is difficult to balance in theoretical calculation. So 10% will be the universal value. Okay. So when you do the project in India, 10% is the correct value. Okay. So this is the balance condition. Can the load lesser than lower limit is considered? Lesser than lower limit means, for example, the lower limit we have taken is 8,799, right? So if the load is coming lesser than the lower limit, which means it is not balanced, you should make sure that each phase, that is R phase, Y phase, and B phase, the load shall come between the particular limit. Then only we can say it is balanced. Okay, is that clear? Or if you have further doubts, I can unmute the mic. Yeah, within the limit is balanced. Okay. So now this is the balanced condition. Okay, so I will show an example. Like yesterday, I have already shown the Excel file, Excel format. Like we have a final format to prepare the balanced condition. It is actually taken from the British standard or the DEVA standard, but it is actually usable for any particular standards because this is a final schedule. See, if you take a printout of this particular Excel file, just like I'm taking in a A4 paper, and you can print it on the distribution board inside door. Okay, inside the door, you can print it out. So the person who is coming for the maintenance or the normal person coming for the repair works or the what to check what is the fault, he will understand which circuit is coming in our phase and where it is going. So how you prepare this particular final schedule? There is a format. Okay, this is a normal format. You just need to fill it. Just need to fill the value only. Okay, how you can fill from the balanced condition? You can fill it. Okay, you can see R1 is having service counter light circuit 1, 236 watts. Okay, this is the balanced condition. Okay, R1 is having light circuit service counter light circuit 1, 236 watt. How you got this 236 watts? You can just go to the light circuit part. You can see service counter light circuit is having LED tube light 1 number, fireproof hanging light is 4 numbers, down focus light 4 numbers, 6 ampere socket 2 numbers. So when you prepare the final schedule, just need to cross check the lighting circuit, power circuit, and balanced phase distribution. This final schedule is not mandatory. Okay, this is taken from the DEVA schedule format. So this is actually very useful because, as I said, R1 circuit name is provided and MCB rating. So which breaker you have chosen for the R1? So 6 ampere is the breaker. So what is the wire size? 1.5 mm square. These are all taken from the standards. Okay, 1.5 mm square wire is the standard that we use for the circuit wiring in India. But if you take DEVA standard, it is 2.5 mm square. If you take Karama standard, we have three sections and 2 wire sizes. Up to 600 watts, you can take 6 ampere breaker, 1.5 mm square wire. Up to 1200 watts, you can take 10 ampere breaker and 1.5 mm square wire. If you're taking 1800 watts, the breaker shall be 16 ampere and the wire shall be 2.5 mm square wire. Okay, but as per Indian standards, we can take only maximum 10 points and maximum wattage is 800. So 1.5 is the standard wire size for the light circuits. So here you can see R1 is having 6 ampere breaker, circuit wire is having 1.5 mm square wire. Earth wire also same. Okay, nowadays we use wire itself, means normally people were using gauge wire like a metal strip or metal similar to a copper string. Okay, they use copper strings or something like that for the earthing, but it is safe to use to reduce the cost. I mean to say to reduce the cost, to reduce the wiring cost, but it is better to take the lighting circuit wire, that is light circuit wire means phase wire, neutral wire, earth wire as the insulated wire itself. So the circuit wiring is 1.5, earth wiring is also 1.5. Room or area, that is service counter. Okay, what all things are there? LED tube light 1 number, a 6 ampere socket 2 number, recess light 2 numbers, hang light 4 numbers. And the total unit what is mentioned here in different format means LED tube light is 20, socket is having 60, resist light is having 12, and the hang light is having 18. Okay, so the all together when after multiplying and adding you will get 236. Okay, so the R phase Y, the next one is Y1. Okay, here the format next one is Y1. If you go with this particular format, it will be better. Like this will be, you can take the printout and you can, as I said, you can just stick on the particular distribution board door. Okay, so if it is, if you're feeling that you're not understanding this particular schedule, I will be sharing this particular Excel file to after completing today's session, so you can understand how we have taken this. Okay, R1, Y1, V1. Okay, you need to follow each and every step in each and every sheet, because I have taken this final schedule as per this particular load schedule. So here primary schedule is there, lighting circuit is there, power circuit is there, balanced phase distribution, final schedule. Okay, so R1, Y1, you already know what is coming in R1, which where will we be taking. Okay, so the R1, Y1, B1, R2, Y2, B2. So here, if you observe the heading, you can see 8-way VTP and DB. Okay, 8-way VTP and DB. So that we'll be discussing regarding the distribution board in the next session, like next after completing the load schedule, because as I told you, you need to select the distribution board based on the final load schedule condition. So this is the final load schedule condition for this particular project. So if you observe, you can see in 7th circuit, R phase 7th circuit, Y phase, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, one minute. I can show you that in the primary schedule. Yeah, here we have 1 HP axial fan. Okay, 1 HP axial fan as the SL number 70. 1 HP axial fan. Okay, so the 1 HP axial fan means 746 watts. So it is having single phase. It will be running on the single phase supply. For in case if some equipments are coming like for example, you are taking a 6500 wattage grinding machine. For example, I'm telling 6500 watts grinding machine. I will just type here itself. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm just taking oven. Okay, oven, and the total load is 6000. Okay, just imagine this one is having 3-phase load, like this one runs on a 3-phase supply. This oven runs on a 3-phase supply. It will not run on 230 watts, 230 volt. Okay, so now in this case, when you consider this particular load, that is the 12th SL number in the primary schedule, when we prepare the power circuit, power circuit for the oven, the unit watt, you have to mention the unit watt as 6000. Okay, 6000. Now, when you prepare the balanced distribution, balanced phase distribution, you have to mention the oven as. For example, I'm just deleting it. Oven. I will be writing 2000 here. Okay, and the same. I need to go with the same number, that is R8. It is coming in the R8, right? So here also I will be writing oven 2000, oven 2000. Okay, sorry 2000. You know, this one is a 3-phase equipment. Okay, so it needs all the 3 phase together to run. Okay, so I'm taking it in the 8th circuit. So since it is a three-phase device, I need to mention it in the R8. If I'm mentioning it in the R8, the same thing I have to mention in the Y8, and the same thing I have to mention the B8. And while preparing the final schedule, I need to mention like this. See here, R5, Y5, B5 is separately taken. See, you can see R phase, Y phase, B phase is separately taken. If I'm taking a three-phase equipment together, that means R8, Y8, B8 is taken together. You can see that. Here it is separately mentioned. R5 is having 10 ampere, Y5 is having 6 ampere breaker. But if I'm taking R8, Y8 together, I need to understand the load of that particular equipment, and I need to select the circuit breaker. For example, 20 for the 6,000 watts oven would require a 25 ampere socket. Sorry, breaker. I'm just okay. That will be different while after calculating. I'm just assuming 25 would be enough, and the wire size shall be 4 or 6 mm square copper wire. Okay, and earth wire also would be copper. So here R8, Y8, and B8 is taken together since it is a three-phase load. Okay, is that clear? Here also we have to split the load. If it is 6,000, the load will be like this. 2,000. 2,000. So based on this particular load schedule, we need to select the distribution board. So we'll get a clear picture regarding the distribution boards, circuit breakers, and distribution boards main incomer. All the details we'll be getting from the final schedule. You can see the main incomer. Here we have taken is 1 into 4 core into 6 core mm. Don't get confused by seeing the format of these cables. We will be discussing in the cable class. Okay. So as per the calculation, we need to check the total load. Total load is 22 kW. Okay. So can anybody do the calculation? Three-phase calculation, if you remember, P equal to root 3 VI cos phi is the equation. Can anybody calculate the current for the 22 kW load? P equal to root 3 VI cos phi. So root 3, you will get the value from the calculator itself. Cos phi, you should take 0.8. So P is 22,000 watts. So I equal to P divided by root 3 V cos phi. Can anybody tell me the current value? So this calculation is very important to the further classes on all everything, because we design everything based on the current value. Right now, why I am asking the current value? Only when I get the current value, I can select the incomer cable size and the circuit breaker size. Okay, distribution board type and number of way you will be getting from the final schedule format picture. But to get the main incomer cable size and main incomer circuit breaker, you need to get the current value. Here total connected load is the 22.2 kW. Okay, if you want, you can take the maximum demand. You can take, this is a kitchen, a commercial space. You can take the maximum demand as 0.8. So I just want to get the maximum demand initially, then the current based on the maximum demand. Okay, can anybody do the calculation? It is very easy. P equal to root 3 VI cos phi. So initially you calculate the maximum demand. So just assume the demand factor as 0.8. 22.2 is the total connected load. Can anybody? P equal to root 3 VI cos phi. Here P is given. Root 3 you will get from the calculator. Voltage is 440. You can take the voltage as 440. Since it is three-phase supply, you can take the voltage as 440. Cos phi is 0.8. It is not a difficult task. Okay, somebody send me the answer. 36.42. this is the current value, right? Can you tell me the maximum demand initially? .kW 34.4 into 8. No, here the total connected load is 22.2. Okay, so to calculate the maximum demand, you would multiply the 22.2 with the 0.8 value. So you'll get something around 20 or something like that. 22.2 into 0.8 means it is coming around 17.76. 17.76 is the maximum demand. This is total connected load. Okay, all the load will not be using at a time. That is why we are assuming the maximum demand, or the I'm multiplying finally. Okay. Okay, you are multiplying finally. Okay, okay, fine, fine. So if I'm doing the right way, like initially I'm just calculating the maximum demand. I got the value 17.76. Now I need to calculate the current. So it is coming around 30.90. Coming around 30.90. Okay, that means the final current value based on the maximum demand is coming around 30.90. For this, for a safety side, I'll be adding the safety factor here. So I got the final value is 30.9. So I'm adding a 25% safety factor. So these procedures we will be explaining in the cable selection and circuit breaker selection. But just to understand how we are actually selecting, I'm just mentioning. So I got a value near to 38 ampere. So after adding the safety factor value, I'm getting a value near to 38 ampere. So which circuit breaker will be selecting as an incomer? If you have any idea regarding that, you can just say. If you don't know, not an issue. We'll be discussing that later. Which breaker we will be selecting? I'm asking about the type. If you know any type, you can mention type of circuit breaker as the incomer. So the individual circuit breaker we will be taking as per the individual circuit loads. Okay, a single phase or three phase. Here we got a value as 38. So we will be obviously checking the catalog for the circuit breaker and MCCB. MCCB 63 ampere is not mandatory here because it does not have that much load initially anyway. MCCB means it will be coming, the cost will be high. Okay, the total load is coming around 38 ampere, right? So either you can go with the, this is actually safety after adding the safety value. Okay, either you can go with the 63 ampere MCB. Yeah, 63 ampere MCB would be enough. But together with that MCB, you should provide a RCCB also. Okay, that is mandatory. Okay, together with that MCCB, you should also provide RCCB also, or else you can take RCBO. Okay, or else you can take an RCBO. RCBO means both the function are coming together. Overcurrent protection as well as the residual current protection. All these things we will be discussing in the circuit breaker session. Okay, anyway, I just want to understand how we will be selecting the RCBO or main breaker. RCBO or main breaker, like the main incomer for the distribution board shall have a RCCB plus MCB combination breaker, RCCB plus MCB, or else isolator plus RCB combination, RCCB combination. We can take either RCCB and MCB together. That is option 1. Second option is RCCB plus isolator, and third option is taking RCBO alone. RCBO means a residual current breaker with overcurrent protection. So it can give protection to both, like overcurrent as well as residual current. So that we'll be discussing in the circuit breaker session. Just want to make you understand how we will be selecting based on the total load. Okay. So in this particular load schedule, we are considering only this particular dB. Okay. So if you're doing a real project, we will be having multiple distribution boards, we'll be having panel boards, etc. So we need to arrange the panel boards, distribution board loads accordingly. Okay. So I hope the load schedule part and the balancing part is clear. Okay. So now we can go to the distribution board selection. So I'll be explaining the distribution board selection based on the Indian standard, but the selection criteria will be same. Only the type of distribution boards availability will be different. So what we have in India will not be available in abroad or British standard countries. So might be different. That will be the only difference. We have mainly three categories. Okay, I will be explaining that. So don't get confused if it is not available in your locality, because the purpose is same, the selection criteria is same. Only the type of distribution board availability will be different. Okay, so here, as I said, if the load is lesser than 5 kW or 5000 watts, that is actually the load will come around for a normal residential building. Because if you take a 100 square meter residential building, obviously the electrical load for that particular building will be coming around 2000 or 3000 wattage. So in that case, the government shall provide single phase connection for that particular. That is the rule here. Okay, government shall provide single phase connection from the nearby electrical utility pole. Okay, so in that case, no need to balance because you only have one phase. That means you will have R phase, or you will have Y phase or B phase. That connection shall be provided by the government official or the board officials. They will be taking whichever phase is having lesser load. They will be giving the connection from that particular phase. Means R phase, Y phase, we don't know. It might be R or Y or B. Okay, while taking the three-phase connection, we are getting all the phases together. That means 4 wires will be coming, including the neutral. But if taking the single phase connection from the utility pole, you will be having only one phase and neutral. In that case, the type of distribution board shall be single phase distribution board. Okay, that means SPN, single pole neutral distribution board or single phase distribution board. Okay, SPN, that is known as SPNDB. So that is one category one. Okay, single phase distribution board. So I'll just show the snapshot of one. So you might have seen these categories of distribution board. This is not SPN. I will show SPN distribution board 1 minute. This is a definition. Distribution board is a panel board. 1 minute. Let me check the SPN. Yeah. This is an example of single phase distribution board. You can see a single layer having an incomer RCCB or RCBO with individual circuit breakers. Okay, so this one might be R or Y or B. We don't know. It is coming from the nearest utility pole. So you are getting phase and neutral coming to your building and going to the energy meter utility service area. Then from that particular area, you will have the distribution board. So in this distribution board, you need to balance because it is only one phase. So main incomer will be a isolator. Okay, for any kind of maintenance, you will be switching off the isolator. So it will be a normal isolator. So from the isolator, it will be going to the individual circuit breaker. Before that, you will have a RCCB or RCD. Okay, in order to detect the leakage current. Then the individual circuit breakers. You can see the black colors one. That might be the individual circuit breakers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers you can see. So that might be the individual circuit breakers. So each circuit will have either a light circuit or the power circuit. So most of the cases for a normal residential building, this might be mixed. But you can take only this distribution board if the total load is coming under the 5 kW value. Okay, so in India, especially in Kerala, I'm telling, the tariff is different. All the state have different tariff. Okay, in some state it is running by private agencies. Some state is government is handling the electricity department. So here we can say that we will be having single phase connection if the load is coming under 5 kW. As I said, if the load is coming under 5 kW. So obviously the expense for buying the distribution board will be very less because three-phase distribution board will cost around what we say 8,000 Indian rupees, but single-phase distribution board might cost around only 4,000 Indian rupees. Okay, so the cost might be double. So thinking about that condition, a normal client will be checking like if possible, just make the load under 5,000 itself. If it is a normal building, we can make the load under 5,000. But as I said, if it is a multi-story building with a lot of electrical equipment, obviously the electrical load might be greater than 5000 watts. In that case, you need to go with the normal distribution board, that is three-phase distribution board. So this is actually rarely used if the load is coming lesser than the specified, that is 5000 watts. Okay, so this might not be visible in other parts of like other countries and all. Okay, might be rarely used in a for a particular motors and all. If it is running for a single phase motor, you can see this particular distribution board. But normally it will not be visible, like this kind of DBs are not available in other parts of like GCC countries or British standard following countries. Okay, so this is the single phase DB. This usually we will be selecting when the load is lesser than 5000 watts. So if the load is greater than 5000 watts, you need to select the TPN. So next one is triple pole neutral. Okay. So as I just told before the load schedule selection, I already told you to observe the name. This one is 8-way VTPN DB. So we have discussed about the SPN DB. Now we are going to discuss about the TPN DB. Okay, TPN. So what is TPN DB? TPN DB normally have three-phase supply. Here, the load will be greater than 5000 watts, and we will be having outgoings as the single phase supply. For example, I will be taking the three-phase supply. Yeah, this is an example for the three-phase TB. Okay, here this red particular breaker is an isolator. Okay, this is an isolator. So the supply is coming from the, as I told, the nearest energy meter. For a normal building, the supply will be coming from the nearest energy meter or nearest electrical panel board. Okay, bus bar panel board. So we'll be having three phases and neutral coming together. You can see it is coming like this. It is entering the RCCB or the isolator. Then it is going, both are connected. If you can see, both are seriously connected. And from this one is going to the R phase. Okay, you can see this one is the R phase, this one is going to the Y phase, and this one is going to the B phase. Okay, so this particular DB we will be using when the load is greater than 5 kW. Okay, 5000 watts. So as we have already balanced the balanced condition, you have seen, right? So you can see R phase, Y phase, and each phase will have individual breakers. So, but in this particular case, all the individual breaker will have only 230 volt as the output. How we are getting 230 volt? Because the coming supply is 440 or 415 volt, but it is actually splitted here. This is splitted here. How it is splitted? R is going here, Y is going here, B is going here, and along with the neutral, the supply is taken out. So whenever you take the neutral and phase together alone, means R and neutral alone, you will be getting only 230 volt. To get the 450 volt, you need both the three phase together. But here it is splitted. That means you are getting three phase supply at the incomer, but it is actually splitted into 230 volt, which means if I am taking a wire from this particular breaker, I would get 230 volt only. What does that mean? Even if you are taking the three-phase distribution board, that is TPN distribution board, all equipments connected in this particular TB will be having 230 volt only. But what if you need a three-phase supply, you cannot choose this distribution board. In that case, you need to select the VTPN DB, vertical triple pole neutral. That is another type. Okay, so that is I think that is a commonly used distribution board in abroad and all. But in India, we have main categories TPN, that is this one. And for particular residential building, this same DB will be having a rotary switch attached to the DBs. That is phase selector DBs, also known as phase selector DBs. And lot of different categories are available now for the commercial purpose, for the banking users, for the residential building. Automatic phase selector DBs are available. I will be explaining that. But I just want you to understand the difference between SPN and TPN. Both the SPN and TPN have single phase output. Okay, but SPN will be having only one phase, but TPN we will have three phases separately categorized, R, Y, B, and each phase will have number of circuits. What will, in this case we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the breaker which have 8 number of circuits in each phase, 8 number of circuit in each phase. So we will mention or we will specify this particular DBs based on the number of circuits and type of DB. So from this picture, can anybody mention? I will explain again. This is the TPN DB. Okay, this is the TPN DB, and we have 8 circuit breakers in each phase. 8 numbers here, 8 numbers here, 8 numbers also here. This is the main incomer. So no need to count it. This is the 3 different phases, and this is TPN DB. So can anybody say in the proper way, dash way, dash DB, dash way, dash DB? So can you just fill it at dash way means number of way. Dash means type of DB. From this picture, can anybody say the type and number of way? Number of way, yeah, somebody has said. Not 3-way, yeah, 8-way TPN. Yeah, 8-way TPN is the correct answer. How it is coming as 8-way? In each phase, it is having 8 circuit breakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8-way 3-phase. Yes, 8-way TPN. So in that way, we can mention the distribution board type. So going back to our balanced condition. Okay, balanced condition. Which type of distribution board you would require to arrange this particular load? Which type of distribution board and number of way also you have to mention. From this final format, you have to mention the number of ways and type of DB. Yeah, TPN is fine, but I need number of ways also. TPN is the correct answer. Like 8 ways, 3-phase will serve. Yeah, 8-way TPN. So you need to mention 8-way TPN. Then only the answer will be complete. 8-way TPN. Okay. 8-way TPN. Yeah, correct. So 8-way TPN is the correct answer. So normally for SPN DB, single phase distribution board, which is normally available value, I'm telling normal available number of way and type. Okay. So this is taken from a company, Schneider. You might have heard about Schneider. So Schneider's Indian catalog. Okay. Schneider, it will not be available in other countries. This is taken from the Schneider Indian catalog. So description, 6-way. That means the outgoing number is 6 circuit breaker. This one is 8-way. Since it is single phase, 8-way means 8 circuit. You can take 8 circuit. The next one is 12-way. If you check the number of way, this would be only available in even numbers. That means you will not get the DB in 7-way, 9-way, 11-way, 13-way. This will be available only in even numbers. So just register that in your brain, like 6-way, and the smallest size would be 4-way. Smallest distribution board number of ways available in 4-way. So 4 is available, 6 is available, 8 is available, 12 and 18. 12 and 18 and the 18-way. Okay, the 18-way is only available for the SPN type. Okay, the 18-way mentioned here is only available for the SPN type. For normal TPN, 12-way is the maximum that is available in the market, 12-way. But in some special cases, you can take more than the 12-way. Some special companies manufactures that amount of number of way. So 12-way is the maximum. 12-way is the maximum means how many circuits you can place in the particular distribution board. For example, I'm telling about the TPN. So in SPN, 12-way means you can provide only 12 circuits. Okay. But in case of TPN, 12-way means how many circuits you can provide. 36, yeah, correct. So that means if you are having more than 36 circuits, what you would need to do? You need to select another distribution board, because that is a maximum space you can have in a distribution board. For a normal manufactured distribution board, you can have only 36 breakers, 36 circuits. So if, for example, you are having 50 number of circuits for a building, that means you can't have all the circuit in a single distribution board. So you need to plan accordingly. Okay, so the number of circuit is also a factor for selecting the distribution board. Is that clear? Okay, so this is also standard DBs, TPN DBs for distribution board. If you check four-way eco, that is a brand particular specification for a DB, four-way eco, 4 plus 12 way, four-way, 8 plus 12. I think this 12 will be clear for you. I mean, the right side value, four-way means 12 means 4 into 3 means four-way means you will have 12 circuits, 4 into 3, 12. Six-way means 6 into 3, 18 circuits. 8-way means 8 into 3, 24 circuits. 12-way means 12 into 3, 36 circuits. These are the normal number of way in the distribution board and normal number of outgoing circuit. Okay, but the left side for 8, 8, 8, what would be the 8 indicate here? This indicates you have 8 module space in the incomer, 8 module space in the incomer. That means this is the incomer, right? If you count the incomer module space, that is 1, 2, 3. Just imagine how many individual MCB breakers you can place here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The width is exactly equal to this one. That means here you have 4 pole. Here you also have a 4 pole space. So that means 8. So this is actually common. Okay, this is actually common. You have 8 pole space in the distribution board in the incomer. That means you can place 2 isolators or 1 isolator or 1 RCCB or 1 MCB or 1 RCCB. So you have 8 ports. So you need to check that also. Okay, so you are having 8 plus 12, 8 plus 18, 8 plus 24, 8 plus 36. Okay, here you can see in the initially lighting class, we have discussed about the ingress protection, right? IP. Here you can see this DB is IP30. Does not have water protection, only physical protection. And what is IP3? You have to check that. What is IP3? Okay, so single door IP30. So this is single door and TPN DB. Okay, is that clear regarding the TPN DBs? Okay, so you will think how to select SPN DB, or you will understand as when you will need SPN DB. Whenever the supply is lesser than 5 kW, you would need SPN DB. Okay, but you will get confused for selecting the TPN, and next one is VTPN. So when you need this VTPN DB, so that we are going to discuss right now. So I will explain the picture of VTPN DB 1 minute. Yeah, this is the VTP and DU. You can see the vertical arrangement of the distribution board. So here we have a incomer here, and the circuit breakers are arranged vertically. This is the normal DBs that we see in the as per the British standard. The advantage is you can take both 3-phase or single phase outgoing from the same DB. Okay, because it is arranged in that way. You can see it is not that much clear, but you can see left side you have six circuit breakers, six single pole circuit breakers. Right side also you can see 6 single phase single pole circuit breakers. That means R1, Y1, B1, R2, Y2, B2. Here R3, Y3, B3, R5, R4, Y4, B4. So in that way it is arranged. So if you are taking an R1 supply, that is R1, you are having service area, for example, service area in that particular example. So you will take phase wire from the R1 section. For example, you are having a 3-phase supply in the R4, Y4, B4. You can take a 3-phase breaker here, 3-phase breaker here. Okay, that is the advantage. You can place either 3-phase breaker or single phase breaker in the same arrangement. So that is the advantage. Okay, similarly 4-way you will be having 12 plus 12. 12 plus means you can see 12 pole space is available here. You can see a dummy space. In the middle you can see a RCCB breaker, and the left side it might be an MCCB or MCB. Okay, MCCB or MCB, both can be placed, MCCB or MCB. Okay, so whenever you need a 3-phase output, normally we would be selecting the VTP and DB. Also, if you are having only single phase connection, you can take this TB itself, because this TB can provide both three phase and single phase supply. But normally the price would be high. So in that case, the normal client would not be choosing this particular type. He will be thinking, why I need to increase the budget for this purpose, since I don't need this type. Okay, so this can have both three phase and single phase outgoings. So these are the three main categories: single phase SPN, three phase TPN, and three phase also have the VTPN type. Okay, so I will just show an example for the distribution board type. So this is, I have taken a brand known as Havels. So this is a normal brand which we choose for the buildings in India. Okay, so while taking the section distribution board, you can see different types distribution board with locks. So the only the purpose will be different. You can lock it. This type of distribution board, you can lock it. That is the only difference. Okay, Metallica DB. So you will be having a metal door. Okay, common base separate door concept. Okay, we can explore each and every type. So this one is a plastic type, designer type. So this is like you will be having a glass covering. Okay, you can see the circuit breaker only. It will be having a plastic glass covering. Okay, and next one is special application DB, and another one is phase selector DB, and final one is utility DB. Okay, so we can go with the as I mentioned, we can go with the phase selector DB. So why this phase selector DB is being used? I think the phase selector DB is only recommended for the residential building. Okay, so because why we are using this phase selector DB is like normally we are getting the electrical supply from the nearest substation. Okay, to the substation we are getting from the nearest power station. So the power station is generating the electricity from the electricity. If it is hydroelectric plant, we'll be having a dam, and the turbine is coming through the, so the water is coming through the turbine, and it will help the penstock pipe, and it will help the generator turbine to rotate, and it will generate the electricity at 11 kV supply. Then the power transformer will step up the voltage feeding to the nearest substation. Then from the substation, you will get a 33 kV or 66 kV or 11 kV out. That particular 11 kV is coming to the nearby transformer of our building, nearby transformer of building. So that particular transformer is stepping down the voltage to three phase normal supply, that is 415 or 440. From that three phase four wire system, that is three phase and neutral. If you take one phase and one neutral along, you will get 230 volt. If you take all the three phases and one neutral, you will get the 415 volt. So here you are getting, in this case, I am telling about the phase selector DB. This is commonly used in residential building in India. So what is the advantage? In some cases, one particular phase will have a power outage. In some cases only, okay. Normally, all the phases will be getting the outage, like power outage, as per the scheduled or as per the short circuit. All the three phase will be going at a time. But in some cases, one phase will be available, and for example, R phase, Y phase, P phase. Out of this, one phase will be turned off. Okay, turned off or for the maintenance or accidentally. Okay, due to the short circuit or something like that. Okay, whatever it is. So in that case, so this one is given to R, this one is will be Y, this one will be B. Okay, normally to balance, you have to give it separately, R, Y, B, or Y, B, R, any order. It should be separate. Okay, like it should be different, like R, Y, B. So in, for example, in some special occasion, the supply coming through the R phase is gone. Okay, so you are having an emergency situation. You need anyway, you need supply in the circuit, all the circuit breakers. So in that case, you can just go and rotate this phase selector rotary switch to the Y phase. Okay, so that means here initially it was R, Y, B. Okay, but when you rotate this to the particular phase, for example, you are rotating into the Y. So now it will be Y, Y, B. But the disadvantage is you will rotate this into the Y phase, but now the system is unbalanced. Okay, now the system is unbalanced since you have made it to the YYB. But as I told, that was an emergency situation. You need supply in that particular circuits. So you rotated it. Okay, but when the power comes back, you will forget to make it make it as the previous position. That means RYB. So that is the main disadvantage. So you will forget it to make it to the previous position. So what happened when you are constantly making it to the YYB or BBR? If you are running all the loads in R and Y together, means R, these particular circuits and this particular together, that will cause an unbalanced condition. So you will think why then it is allowed. Normally a residential building will not have a much demand. Okay, only few equipments will be working at a time. That is why it is allowed in our country. Okay, but if you are having PDB in your building, this type of DB, you will not get permission to arrange PDB power distribution board. You will not have permission for the rotary switches, phase selector rotary switches. But considering the issue, like power outage in any particular phase, client will be checking whether it is available for the PDB. But normally, as per the standards or as per the rule, for power circuit, it is not permissible. Okay, you will not get permission for the phase selector DB for power distribution board. And also, if you have electrical load for a particular range, for example, if you're having a 25 kW load or 30 kW load, and you are having a single distribution board, in that case, if there is a proper inspection, you will not get permission for the phase selector DB, because there is a chance for, like as I said, you will forget to rotate it in the previous position. So in order to overcome that, the company has also made automatic phase selector switch. So you don't need to manually turn it into different position. It will automatically understand that power is not available in this particular phase, so it will automatically shift it to the another phase. The range is 4-way and 6-way. So this particular company have 4-way and 6-way automatic phase selector distribution mode. The price is given Indian rupees 18,000. You can see the price difference for the automatic one. So this one also have a disadvantage. Disadvantage is this one actually change the phase, checking the voltage. If the voltage you are not getting sufficient in the particular phase, it will automatically change the phase. So that is a particular disadvantage. So if your particular area is having voltage stability issues, this will be useless, because all the time this will be automatically change the phase. So you can also rectify that. Okay, if you're having voltage stability issues, you can have a common stabilizer, and so you can overcome that. But this one is actually comparing to the manual one, this one is okay, because it will automatically change the phase. So this, as I told, this is only available for residential purpose. For commercial, and if your residential building is having a higher load, this will not, you will not get permission for this type of DB, since the phase selection or the phase changing will affect the balanced condition of the transformer, which will make the overcurrent or neutral current to flow through different circuits. Okay, so this is one kind of distribution board, that is phase selector DB. You can see the phase selector rotary switches. So, and another one is uh, special purpose distribution board. So I will take the special purpose distribution board. This one is actually used for the commercial as well as residential building also you can use, but normally it is suitable for the commercial. Yeah, this one is known as the pre-wired DB. Okay, pre-wired DB means when you buy this particular distribution board, all RYBS you will already get with pre-installed condition. No need to interconnect manually. You will already get the distribution board with pre-wired condition itself, which means this is having a yeah. Yeah, can anybody say the number of way from the picture? and type of distribution. Type is already written, but can anybody say the number of way from the picture? Yeah, 6-way is the correct answer. 6-way TPN DB. Yeah, 6-way TPN DB, correct. 6-way TPN. So this is actually pre-wire DB. In this case, you cannot change the phase because it does not have the rotary switches. You can just connect the incomer here, but this one is an isolator, normal isolator. We need to understand whether it is 4-way incomer or 8-way, because I can see a space here, but we need to understand whether this can be, that space can be utilized for the another 4-pole device. Okay, you need to check the detailed specification, then only you will get the 12-way. Okay, whatever. So this is actually pre-wired DB. Okay, it is coming under the special application. We'll go to the next one. So in this picture, it is not fully open, but I can explain that. So this is a 7-segment DB. Okay, 7-segment DB, which means you will be having 1, 2, 3. Here also we will be having another section. Okay, 4, 5, 6. Here also we will be having 2 pole isolators and the common incomer. So main incomer. That is why it is known as 7-segment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally the main incomer part. That is why it is known as 7-segment DB. So where this type of DB is suitable, they have already mentioned that suitable for commercial and industrial use. For example, you are having a bank space. Okay, you are having a bank space. So the bank space will be having separate section, right? Lobby area, bank manager room, and cash counter, and something like that common safe room. Okay, so for example, you are arranging the lobby area in B phase, this particular phase. Okay, and you are arranging the safety area or the locker area in the Y phase, and you are arranging the staff area in the B phase. Hello, sorry, R phase, R, Y, B. So in that case, if anything happens in the particular phase, each phase have a different incomers, different isolators. You can see that. That means the wire is coming, the 3-phase wire is coming into the isolator. Then here we have a RCCB. Then individually the R will go here, Y will go here, or B will go here. Okay, so that means each separate section have different isolating or different breaker section. Okay, that means if something happen here, this breaker will get tripped down or tripped off. Okay, so it will not affect the remaining phases. So that is application for, as I said, you can use it for the commercial space like banking area or bank space, like that way you can use depending upon the project. For residential, it is not suitable because in a residential building, you don't need to arrange this type of DBs. Some clients are also choosing this type of DB as they have seen in some application and they are interested with that particular DB and they will be using for that. So it is actually this type of DBs are not allowed in the residential cases as per the normal standards. Okay, so this is another type, special application DB. And going back to the distribution board types. These are also the same type, but appearance will be different. Application is same, but the appearance is different. This is same to the normal distribution board. The appearance is only different. This is a one category, special phase selector. Another category, special application. All these are the same, but the appearance is different. So now I will show the example of VTPN also. 1 minute. Catalogs. So this is taken from the Schneider. SPN DB, TPN DB, per phase isolation DB. Per phase isolation DB is also similar to the 7-segment DB. Each phase will have separate isolating device, that is per phase isolation DB. Flexi tier DBs means you can have many number of circuit in a single row. Flexi DB gives total flexibility to mount any type and size of modular device. So the application is same, but the appearance and the compactability will be different. So vertical DB with the modular incomer, VTPN, vertical TPN with the modular incomer. Okay. So in this case, you can choose the incomer as 4-port RCCB, RCBO, isolator, or MCB. So you need to mention that this is vertical TPN with modular incomer. So this is specified in the brand known as Schneider. So they have mentioned vertical TPN with modular incomer. That means you can choose any one of this type. Okay, RCCB, RCB, or isolator. But we also have vertical TPN with MCCB incomer. Okay, so that is different. Vertical TPN with the MCCB incomer. So this will have the incomer as MCCB only. You cannot change any other type. Only MCCB will be suitable in this type of distribution board. So whenever you choose the distribution board, you make sure that you are selecting the correct one. If you mention vertical TPN alone, the dealer will give you any which is having high price. So you need to understand that in VTPN itself, they have two different category: modular incomer and MCCB incomer. In modular incomer, you can either place MCB, RCCB, RCBO, but in VTPN with MCCB incomer, you can only place MCCB breaker, and we have 100 MCCB 12 outgoing, 100 ampere MCB 24 outgoing, 100 ampere 36, 160 ampere, 160 ampere, 250 up to 250 ampere MCCB is available for this VTP and DB. So if any high power device is coming, we can either choose according to the current consumption. So normal case, the distribution board rating would be maximum 63 ampere, maximum. Okay, I mean, I'm telling about the normal 12-way TP and DBs. But in special cases, like if you have high power devices inside your building, in that case, the distribution board might be like 100 ampere or 160 ampere. MCCB will be the incomer. Okay, for example, I'm just telling an example. We had a project at Kerala, like it was a 4,000 square feet residential building. Okay, 4,000 square feet residential building. So in that particular building, the client was having a requirement of separate distribution board for lighting and power circuits. Okay, when we raised the RFI means request for information, we already asked him whether you need a separate distribution board for light and power. So he was interested with that. He just asked what is the difference and what is the advantage. So I explained him. So he told, yeah, it would be great if you could provide separate distribution board for LDB, means for light circuit and power circuit. He also, after studying that and all, he also requested, he wants separate distribution for the kitchen area, because he was having high quality, like high premium kitchen equipments in his kitchen, like dishwashers, oven, a lot of equipments was there. So he also requested separate distribution board for the kitchen. So in ground floor itself, we had 3 distribution board: one for the light, one for the normal lighting, and the normal power, that is AC, geyser, and all, and finally the kitchen equipments. So we had 3 distribution board for the ground floor itself. And first floor, he told it is only having a few space, few area. So he told you can take a combined LDB and PDB, like you can mix light circuits and power circuits, no, with a common distribution board. So in total, we had 4 distribution board for that particular building. Okay, so since we had 4 distribution board, we chose a main distribution board as the VTP and DB with MCCB incomer. Okay, so I can show you the sync line diagram for that particular project. 1 minute. So that particular building total load was coming around 60 kW. Okay, so the load was around, I mean 63 kW exact, to be exact, and it was a 4,000 square feet residential building. I'll show the drawings in it. So this is the single line diagram representation for a normal DB. You can see I have mentioned from VTP and DB it is coming. The incomer is 40 ampere, 44 pole, 30 milliampere RCPO. So this description we'll be discussing in the circuit breaker class. Okay, so this is the 40 ampere copper bus bar for the bus for the phase and neutral. And here you can see in R phase, R1 is 10 ampere, R2 is 10 ampere, R3 is 32 ampere, R4, R5, R6 are spare. Okay, here also Y1 is 20 ampere. So this one is actually ground floor PDB, power distribution board. This one is kitchen PDB. Okay, and we also have UPS DB and first floor DB. First floor DB is mixed. Okay, so you will here you can see 20 ampere, 10 ampere, 6 ampere, and this one is ground floor LDB. Okay, ground floor LDB. You can see 6 ampere breakers. All are having 6 ampere breakers and lot of spare. Okay, so to connect all this distribution together, all this distribution board together, we had a 6-way. This is actually VTPN. Okay, VTPN MCBDB or MCCBDB. This is MCCBDB. Okay, not MCBDB, MCCBDB. So if you see 3-phase supply coming from the KCB, 4 core 70 square mm AFA cable is coming to the 100 ampere 4 pole MCCB. So this 4 pole MCCB is located outside the distribution board. Okay, we have surge protected device, common stabilizer, and this enters the DB. So you can see 100 ampere 4 pole MCCB as an incomer, similar to the catalog you have seen. 100 ampere MCCB. So this one will be the 100 ampere MCCB. Okay, and then it is going to the bus section, and here you can see 40 ampere triple pole MCB is taken for the ground floor. So from this particular 3-phase triple pole breaker, you are feeding the ground floor PDB. And next one is for the kitchen PDB. Next one is for the ground floor LDB. And finally, this one is for the first floor DB. So remaining we have a separate 2 spare section. So out of that, from the 2 spare section, we have taken 2 single pole breakers. Okay, one for the line interactive UPS and another for the online UPS. So this is the main distribution board single line diagram. So the main distribution board is the VTP and DB itself. Okay, so this one is the single line diagram representation for the MCCBDB. So all one is having triple pole, triple pole, triple pole, triple. Also, you can take single pole out from the same. Okay, that is advantage. So normally a residential building doesn't need VTP and DB, but this project had almost 4 DBs. Okay, one LDB, one PDB for normal condition, and another kitchen DB, and again first floor common DB or normal DB. So this one was the requirement. So I can show the plan drawing also, so you will understand how this DB was required. Yeah. So you can see we have arranged also this residential building had automation DB also. That is why it is mentioned ADB. Okay, so that is not we have an integration with the LDB and automation DB, but that doesn't comes in our section. We can provide provision, but automation team will be doing the remaining wiring and all. So automation DB, we can just propose the location for automation DB. So ground floor LDB and PDB is located here. This is actually located up and down. Okay, LDB is located downwards, and PDB is in the upper side. Okay, that is why it is shown in the same place. Okay, and finally the kitchen PDB you can see here. This is the location for kitchen PDB. This architectural drawing also had the elevation drawing, so we could easily recommend the levels for each equipments. Okay, so you can see this is actually power drawing. You can only see the power utilities here, sockets and switches only you can see. The lighting drawings is provided separately. So this one is a lighting drawing. You can see ceiling fan, lights. Okay. This one's lighting design, if you could observe, you can see lot of light fixtures, but it is actually based on the interior requirements. Okay. We have provided the light fixtures based on the interior because the client already shared the 3D images for the interior section. That is why we have provided this much of light fixtures. Okay. Here we also have an LCD unit here. For that, the client also provided the elevation for the same. So we could easily understand at what level the socket should come. Because by viewing the 2D plan alone, it will be a little bit difficult to understand how it looked like. So for example, I can show you the elevation also. A minute. A minute. Yeah. If you see the elevation area for the television part, you can see we have arranged sockets and TV audio video point, coaxial point here and also here. Because when we saw that particular 3D image, we could understand that it should need separate height. Always you have to think like that way because setup box or the TV receiver will have a separate height. Okay, then TV point will also need a socket. So if you provide all the three sockets at a particular point, the wires will be visible because the client was having an important requirement like no wires should be visible. Okay, so we had, it would be difficult for a person to switch it on and all or off always because you need to open this cabin and you need to kneel into that particular point and it will be difficult. So that is why we have provided the switches separately for the socket. All the three sockets we have provided switches separately. Okay, so that in that way the electrician also and the electrician as well as the client would also get a clear picture regarding the location for the switchboard. But if it is a normal 2D drawing, it will be difficult to convey the electrician to tell that from this plan he would need an explanation at what location the switchboard. We will also give the switchboard schedule. Okay, we will also give the switchboard schedule regarding this particular one, but uh, but it would be little bit difficult. But from this drawing, it will be easier for him to understand the height difference. So similarly, the distribution board coming located here. This was the previous drawing. Okay, GFLDB, and after client's advice and after this proper site visit, we made the changes as automation DB comes first, and LDB and PDB in the up and down positions. Okay, so this is the final location for the distribution boards and the kitchen DB. So the final and the first floor DB is coming in near to the staircase. Okay, this is actually the phase wiring. That is why it is mentioned from the final phase wiring. We will be mentioning like this. Okay, all these circuits. So since it is B phase, we have given the blue color, and we will be mentioning B for bedroom LCKT2 first floor DB. So from this distribution board, this particular circuit is coming from B phase fourth circuit. So this is actually the phase wiring. Okay, so the phase wiring is also taken from the final balanced condition. So all the particular circuits will be mentioning. B2 home theaters power circuit 1, this particular AC socket. Okay, this is actually for AC, and this one is R for home lights, means home theater light circuit to FFDB, first floor DB. It is coming under the first floor DB, first floor, and this one is R3. So this is actually done after the balanced condition. Okay, and this is the location for VTP and DB. This is actually coming outside the building, and this will be a closed space coming under the stair. This will have a grill and all. So while visiting the site, you will need to understand how the cable can be taken to this particular position. Okay, from the electrical utility post, how you can take the main incomer cable to first floor what we say, open terrace area. Okay, so that will be also a necessary point to understand the location, because you can't simply place a distribution port as you wish. You need to check all the conditions, how you will take the cables in and out, and how this will affect the particular room if you place the DB here. We have placed the DB here under the stair actually. Okay, this will not affect the room's remaining aesthetics and all. But if you are going to place the distribution board here, a person who is coming and visiting this area and visiting the area, it will affect the interior part of the building. So you have to choose the distribution board look wisely. Okay, so regarding the phase wiring and distribution board selection, I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts regarding the DB selection, you can ask. And regarding the phase wiring and all, this is actually coming in the final project class. Okay, you will need to do the individual project, like a small project, similar to this one. Okay, so at that time, when you do only, you will understand. By seeing this load schedule wiring and control wiring, you will not get idea now. But when you do only, you will get a clear picture regarding the phase wiring and control wiring. That is why I'm not giving more explanation on it. Okay, I just want you to understand this is how we arrange the phase drawing, okay, or schedule drawing. We also have a separate drawing known as control wiring. Okay, let me see. Control wiring is here, it is not available for me. Yeah, if you check this, this is the control wiring. This switch is being controlling this. Okay, this 4 light is being controlled by this particular switches. Okay, this is the control wiring, and previously which you have seen, it is phase wiring or schedule drawing. Okay, is there any doubts regarding the today's session? Okay, so we can end today's session, and tomorrow we will be starting with the cable selection, cable basic structure, cable introduction. Okay, and if there is time, we will be discussing about the cable calculation using Indian standard. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Adil is having any doubt, you can ask me. Type of incomer means, yeah, sure. I will email the Excel sheet. Type of incomer means yeah, in VTPN, we can have MCB as well as MCCB. Okay. But you have to specify it. You have to specify selection criteria. If the current is greater than 63 ampere, you need to select the MCCB as the incomer. If the current is coming under 63 ampere, you can select the MCB. Okay, so normally MCCB is suitable for current rating up to 63 ampere. That is a criteria. RCCB and RC, yeah, that we will be discussing in the circuit breaker selection. That is why I told you not to bother about that one. We will be discussing that in the circuit breaker. Okay. Okay, fine. So thank you.